Hello friends, today I am here to discuss Mars colonization proposed by NASA and famous space industrialist Elon Musk. So friends, we have two interplanetary options where human species can relocate. First is Moon, second is Mars. And Mr. Elon Musk supporting Mars, but I don't think that Mars is a better place. According to me, Moon is better than Mars for human colonization. Okay, why I'm thinking of this? I'm coming on that point because there are so many biological, ecological, and social science related issue. Not only that, there are so many other problems which can be created on Mars, but that will be not happen on Moon. Okay, so at first glance it might appear that Mars is much better than suited for terraforming than the Moon, but after all, Mars already has large quantity of water on it. In both this solid and gaseous phase, Mars had a past where liquid water was rife on the surface and probably spent more than the first billion years of its existence with ocean and rivers throughout its surface. So Mars is larger and more massive than Moon. It has higher gravitational acceleration than Moon as it is surface, and its atmosphere, while thin, is rich in carbon dioxide. None of these are insurmountable obstacle. Of course, with a large enough investment of resources, practically anything is possible. But the more resource you have to bring with you, both to survive and thrive in the new environment and also to protect you from the harmful effect of all that surround you, the more difficult thing and the task become on the Mars. We have to consider many factors that work against us. The Martian soil is very different from Earth's, with silicon dioxide and joined by highly oxidized metals, ferric oxide, aluminum, and calcium oxide and sulfur oxide. The Martian atmosphere present a major obstacle to safety and preciously landing on the surface, and also hinders and attempt to return contents to people back to Earth. Mars is a very great distance away from the Earth. At the speed of light, one-way communication takes anywhere of 7 to 22 minutes if we are traveling with the speed of light. But as we know, this is not possible at any cost with our advanced stage of science. For that, we need to wait until next 500 years. But capital economy and the businessman lobby, just like Mr. Elon Musk is serving a dream to human on the planet that we can adjust after just after 30 years from now, like by 2050 they want to colonize 1 million people. You mean 10 lakh people from the Earth will shift it to Mars colonies, which they will set up over there if it is possible. But right now I don't think that it is possible anyway. So Mars is very remote as far as delivery of resources goes. Okay, and it can take a month to over a year to deliver payload from Earth to Mars, depending on configuration of the planet at any particular moment in time. By contrast, the Moon is much more favorite environment by many metrics. I can say the Moon is much more favorable environment, and a one-way journey to the Moon takes merely days, the same as did in Apollo era. So we can understand that messages get exchanged very quickly between the Earth and the Moon within a day, one by one. Okay, there are some comparably large temperature swing on the both worlds. The surface gravity on both worlds is very low, with Mars gravity about a third and Moon's gravity about sixth of the Earth. So someone living on the Moon would have to contend with the days and nights that are 2 weeks long apiece. An observer on the Moon, I will just repeat the sentence. An observer on the Moon's near side would always observe a full make the Moon our top candidate for our first terraforming locations. And in terms of radiation, the Moon has a Mars beat. Sure, the Moon and the Mars both have dead cores and surface magnetic field that vary incoherently over the surface of those worlds, offering negotiable protection compared to the Earth's magnetosphere. These worlds themselves do little to shield any surface dweller from the particle and the radiation emitted by the sun. So you might think that being closer to the sun, the Moon would have its worse than Mars. Why? Because you will get low heat on the Moon, but if you will shift to Mars, you will get be closer rather than Moon to the sun. So there would be high level temperature. So this is just simple example. You might think that being closer to the sun, the Moon would have it worse than Mars. You might realize that the Moon lies outside of the well, Allen belt that surrounded Earth, meaning that our planet previously negotiable protection from the effects. All that is true, but Mars also face issue that the Moon doesn't. For one, Mars is farther from the Sun, meaning that we receive less energy from the Sun on every square meter of area. For another, Mars atmosphere is a tremendous hazard with the high wind routine sandstorms and terrain that changes as readily as sand dunes on the Earth. Mars, having no protective magnetic field like Earth, is also subject to the bombardment by the solar wind particles. If there is any solar wind, that would be a big danger for human life on the Mars. In terms of infrastructure and accessibility, it is really no contest. The Mars is closer, always has a view of Earth, can exchange signals and deliverable hundreds of times more quickly than he can exchange between Earth and Mars. And this is easier to land on and take off from Moon rather than Mars. So certain infrastructure and is easier to land on take off the Moon. I'm just saying the certain infrastructure could be easily shared between the Earth and the Moon, such as internet, whereas Mars would likely, due to its remote nature, its need own standalone infrastructure. But perhaps the biggest benefit, as anyone well versed in real estate will tell you, is location. On the Moon, solar power is tremendous assets, as there is no atmosphere, no cloud cover and no absorption of radiation. that occur on the way down. You can set up a solar panel on the surface and receive the same amount of incident radiation you would receive from the orbiter, and would only need to clean a dust like particle of panels every fifth decade. Remember, dust solar panel are what eventually killed both NASA's Spirit and Opportunity rovers. So this can be harmful for human life also. Meanwhile, the incident flux on the Mars is just 43% of what it is on the Moon, and that is the top of Martian atmosphere. In terms of bang for your luck that you get from the Sun, the Moon is more than twice as efficient, but by far the best asset on the Moon is something you might not think as an asset at all. The lunar regolith, or the dusty outer layer of soil found on the Moon. Mars has terrain that varied in terms of composition, elevation and dustiness versus the compactness. Many have linked it to the fresh volcanic basaltic soil found in Hawaii. However, the material found on the Moon isn't similar Earth's. So it is the Earth. I'm just telling you, there are some similarity of soil on the Moon, because as we know that Moon was part of Earth, and millions of years before it was disattracted by some gravitational power, and there is a difference now between Earth and Moon. Otherwise it was part of Earth, as we know from the science history. So part of the reason that we know the Moon and Earth formed from the same ancient event, a nearly collision that kicked off debris, not a circumplanetary disk around the Earth, is because we have brought back samples from the Moon and analyzed them in laboratory here on the Earth. In terms of elements, that both worlds are made out of the chemical composition of the compound we find, and the isotopic ratio of the materials present on the Moon and the Earth have a common history, with the exception of the biological component found in Earth's topsoil. The composition of the Moon is identical to the composition of Earth's crust. If the material that present on the Moon is not just similar but identical to the material we have on the Earth, that make prospect of the terraforming the Moon a much easier and task even we might have considered otherwise. Yes, there is no air, no atmosphere, no easy source of liquid water on the surface, but if we bring a self-enclosed structure, the air necessary to fill the bacteria needed to properly enrich the soil, and simply crushing lunar rocks to make soil will be sufficient to begin the process of lunar agriculture. So there is even a chance that we wouldn't have to bring on our own water, as the permanently shadow crater on the Moon are known to contain large amount of frozen water. So this is the possibility that we can easily get water on the Moon, because it is already exists there, but we have to do some extra effort with advanced technology we can collect that water that is already available on the moon. So there are even chance that we would not have to bring our own water from Earth to moon, as the permanently shadowed crater on the moon are known to be contain large amount of frozen water like dirty, slushy, show corn. Okay, so lunar soil to grow terrestrial plant by testing our marigold. When bacteria were added, the resulting plants were entirely healthy. Simply crushing the lunar rock to make soil, we will be significant to begin the process of lunar agriculture. So this is the most important thing for the colonization. If you can start cultivation, you have water there, and you can create anyhow the oxygen for the breathing system of our human body. So this is the most important thing, if we can do that. As long as we have sufficient battery power to sustain heat and possibly illuminate the environment during the long lunar nights, the first human extraterrestrial civilization is well within the realm of reality, rather than attempt to terraform an entire planet. Going to the moon would give us the luxury of terraforming only the area of interest. A little bit time while we learn valuable lesson that could potentially be applied worldwide for each world that is out there. We only get one chance to do things properly. When it comes to the question of terraforming, we would be mighty fools not to go after the low-hanging fruit first. So, what is the conclusion of my all discussion here? That I think first human kind must think to relocate or colonize the moon. When we will be able to settle down moon, till that time we would be able on the advanced level science to shift on Mars. And Mars colonization is not possible within next 20 years, as Mr. Elon Musk claiming, because he is a businessman and he is a capitalist. He just want to earn money through this. As we already know that there would be a cost of $1 lakh for the travel and extra living cost would be there on Mars. So this is just making a fool's project, and I am worried about the lives, as 1 million people will go to Mars, and I don't think that they will live more than 30 days on the Mars, because there's a lot of radiation that could be reason of cancer, and air is not available there. So they will create a artificial environment where people can live there. And the most important thing is productivity. When a male and female lives there, they will give birth of a newborn child. So first Martian child of human species would be alive there, but the environment doesn't allow it, because the human biological reason productivity is not possible on that planet, because ecological system and biological system does not support for human life production over there. Yes, you can go there to celebrate a picnic. You can, if you have millions of dollars to spend on Martian picnic, so you can go there, you can live there a week or more than 10 days, and after that you need to come back to Earth, because Earth is our mother planet. We have all facility, we have friends, we have society, and everything which is required for human life is available here. And shifting on Mars is plan, but it is a dream according to me. And from thousands of years, humans are thinking to settle down on any other planet. Like they were looking in the night to the stars, and they were thinking that one day I will be there. Anyhow, we will go there. I will live on moon. I will go live on Mars. So this is an old project, and as we know, in America there was a society that is called the Mars Project. Okay, so Mars Project gave some essential idea, but finally the project was impractical, so it was closed. And now Mr. Elon Musk, by using his money power and support of share market, is doing some effort for the colonization. Even Russia and NASA also trying to set up a colony on the Mars, but I don't think that Mars is good for human life. If we are looking for another planet for human species to save for next thousands of years, then moon is the only one option according to me. And thank you for watching this video, and if you have any suggestion or comment, it is most welcome. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.